My girlfriend scoffed. "You're just a cubicle drone, you can't keep up with my world." I responded, "You're spot on." Then, I let our upscale apartment lease lapse and relocated to my own place. Her calls from her mom's sofa are nonstop. I'm a 31-year-old guy, and those words hit me 2 months ago at a fancy dinner. My girlfriend, Cassandra, 29, was sipping wine with her influencer crowd, chatting about their next getaway to some posh resort. When one of them asked if I'd join, Cassandra burst out laughing. "Him?" she said, loud enough for the room to hear. "He's a desk jockey, he can't afford my vibe." The table fell silent. I was right there, having just covered the $400 dinner bill. Cassandra and I had been together for 3 years. She's a lifestyle influencer with 15,000 followers, posting about high-end living, designer hauls, and chic eateries. Her actual earnings from this? Maybe $600 a month from occasional brand deals. Meanwhile, I'm a data analyst pulling in $85,000 a year, not wealthy, but stable. The truth. I'd been bankrolling her fantasy life the whole time. Our apartment, a $3,200 a month high-rise with a concierge and rooftop pool, was in my name, my credit, my deposits. She sent me $400 a month as her share. She picked that number. Her designer outfits? Charged to the credit card I gave her for emergencies, which she used daily. Those restaurant posts? I paid for the meals so she could snap pretty pictures of dishes she barely ate. But hearing her belittle me to her friends while I funded her dream world, that was the breaking point. "You're absolutely correct," I said coolly, standing up. "I can't afford your lifestyle." She gave an awkward chuckle. "Babe, I was just kidding." "No, you weren't," I said. "And that's fine, but you should know the lease ends in 8 weeks. Her face drained of color. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I'm not renewing it." "You should start looking for a place you can actually pay for." The table was dead quiet. Her friend Bianca muttered, "Oh, damn." Cassandra tried to brush it off, but I saw the fear in her eyes. She knew what was coming. At home, she went into damage control mode, called me oversensitive, said I took it the wrong way, claimed she was just playing a role for her brand. I nodded and said, "Sure." Then I slept in the spare room. The next morning, I started searching for apartments. Found a decent one-bedroom in a regular building. $1,400 a month. No concierge, no rooftop pool, but it's clean and it's mine. I paid the deposit that day. Cassandra spent the next few weeks flipping between sweet-talking me and acting like nothing was wrong. She'd post Instagram stories of our apartment with captions like, "Grateful for this life," while barely speaking to me. She hadn't even looked for a new place. 3 weeks before the lease ended, I started packing. She finally saw I meant business. "Where am I supposed to go?" she demanded. "Somewhere you can actually afford," I said, sealing another box. "This is financial manipulation," she shrieked. "You're trying to control me." "Cassandra, I'm walking away from you." That's the opposite of control. 2 weeks before the lease ended, she still hadn't packed a thing. I booked movers for my stuff only, canceled the credit card I'd given her, set up mail forwarding. She was at a brand event, aka sipping free bubbly at a boutique opening, when the movers came. She returned to a half-empty apartment. My desk? Gone. My TV? Gone. My espresso machine? Gone. The furniture I'd bought? Gone. All that was left was her ring light, her wardrobe, and the cheap dresser she'd brought when she moved in. Her meltdown was legendary. 82 texts in 3 hours, Instagram stories about betrayal and fake people. But she still hadn't found a place to live. On the last day of the lease, I did the final walkthrough with the property manager, handed back the keys, and got my deposit. Cassandra was there, still in denial, pleading with the manager to let her stay. He explained she wasn't on the lease and, without me, her income didn't qualify. The rent was triple what she could prove she earned. She ended up moving back to her mom's house in the suburbs, 45 minutes from the city. Her mom's place, a standard middle-class home with zero Instagram appeal. That was 5 weeks ago. Now, the calls won't stop. Update 1. The entitlement is off the charts. Let's start with her living situation. Yes, she's at her mom's, back in her childhood bedroom. The one with the tacky butterfly wallpaper she tries to hide in her photos. She's gotten clever with camera angles, using her ring light to fake a minimalist vibe. But her followers aren't fooled. Her engagement has tanked. The first week after moving out, she played the victim card, called me sobbing about how I'd abandoned her, how we were a team, how I owed her after 3 years. I reminded her she told a room full of people I couldn't keep up with her lifestyle. She hung up. Then came the money panic. That credit card I canceled? It was linked to her subscriptions. Her $200 a month luxury gym with the spa, her $50 a month beauty box, her $50 a month cloud storage for photos, her $60 a month Adobe suite. All declined. She had to cancel everything. She texted, "You're killing my brand." "I need those tools," I replied. "Your brand should cover its own tools." No response. But the real comedy kicked in when she tried to keep up her lifestyle from her mom's house. She sweet-talked some guy from a dating app into taking her to a ritzy steakhouse, posted stories of the wine, the starters, the whole performance. Then the guy saw her climb into her 2012 Honda Civic, her real car, not the Mercedes she used to pose with in our building's garage. He never called her again. Her mom, Gloria, called me last week. Had the audacity to say I was cruel to her daughter. "Gloria, she's depressed. She won't eat. You crushed her spirit." "Gloria," I said, "she called me too poor for her while I paid for her entire life. You know that's not what she meant." "Then what did she mean?" "She was just keeping up her image. And now she can keep it up from your house. You're cold-hearted. After all she did for you. What exactly did she do for me?" Silence. Then, She made you look good. A gorgeous girl like her with a guy like you," I laughed. "A guy like me? You mean someone with a job and a credit score?" She hung up. Then Cassandra went further. She started telling people I was abusive, claimed I'd kicked her out with no notice, said I'd stolen her stuff. The stuff? The furniture I paid for, the TV I paid for, the espresso machine I paid for. She even filed a police report for theft. The officer who called me sounded exhausted. I emailed him receipts for everything, all in my name, all on my card. He called back, "Sir, there's no theft here." This is a civil matter at best, but honestly, she's got nothing. The best part? She tried to keep up her influencer gig from her mom's house, posted a day in my life video. You could hear her mom's soap opera blaring in the background, a neighbor's dog barking, the suburban life she'd fought to escape. The comments were savage. "What happened to the penthouse, girl? Is that your mom's kitchen? The glow down is real." She deleted the video in hours. Yesterday, she sent me a Venmo request for $3,200. Note, "My share of last month's rent you owe me since I had to leave early." The nerve. The sheer nerve. I declined it with a message. "You never paid half the rent. Your share was $400. She immediately requested $400. I declined that too. Update 2. It's been 2.5 months since I told Cassandra I couldn't afford her lifestyle. The karma is so perfect I almost feel guilty. Almost. After the Venmo stunt, she went all in on TikTok. Posted a series about escaping a toxic relationship and starting over. Problem is, the internet has receipts. Someone dug up her old posts where she bragged about her finance bro boyfriend. I'm a data analyst, but sure. And how he spoils her. The comments tore her apart. So toxic he paid for your whole life? Starting over at your mom's at 29? This the same guy you said was too broke for you? She deleted everything. But then came her boldest move. She sent me a business proposal, a legit PDF, fancy template and all. The pitch? I'd invest $10,000 in her lifestyle brand for 10% of future profits. Her projections showed she'd earn $500,000 in 2 years. Her current monthly income, per her own numbers, $600. I sent it to my friend in venture capital. His reply? Is this a joke? When I ignored her proposal, she doubled down, got her friend Bianca to text me. Then Bianca's boyfriend. Then some random influencer I'd never heard of, claiming I was holding back a fellow creative. They all said the same thing. I was being petty. I should help her get back on her feet. I asked each one, "So, you're investing in her brand then?" Dead silence. The real gem came last week. I was at my usual coffee shop downtown. Cassandra walked in with some guy, older, slick suit, fresh tan line where a wedding ring used to be. She was in full influencer mode, laughing too loud, touching his arm, doing that hair toss thing. She spotted me and her whole act shifted, dragged the guy over. "Oh my gosh, hi," she said, fake cheery. "This is Richard. Richard, this is my ex I told you about." Richard looked uneasy, shook my hand. "Nice to meet you." "Richard's a partner at a law firm," she said pointedly. "He actually supports driven women." "That's awesome," I said, turning back to my laptop. "We're looking at apartments," she went on, "in that new high-end building on 5th. "Cool," I said, not looking up. She stood there awkwardly before Richard pulled her away. They sat across the coffee shop. I watched her perform, taking selfies, giggling, the whole act. Richard was on his phone the whole time, clearly texting someone, probably his wife. 20 minutes later, Richard left, alone. Cassandra sat there for another 5 minutes, then came back over. "That was so rude," she hissed. "What was?" "You could have played along. Helped me out. Helped you scam a married guy? He's separated. His ringtan line says different." She glared. "This is exactly why I said what I said. You're small-minded. No drive. Just a boring office guy who'll never get what it takes to build something." "Cassandra," I said calmly, "I built my whole life. By myself. With my boring office job. You're 29, living with your mom, trying to hustle married men in coffee shops. Who's got no drive?" She threw her latte at me, missed, hit some poor student's backpack. The barista banned her. That was my favorite coffee shop. She's not allowed back. Her mom called that night, sobbing, claimed Cassandra had a breakdown, said I was stalking her at coffee shops. I sent Gloria the security footage I got from the manager, who was super chill about it. It shows Cassandra approaching me, not the other way around. Shows her throwing the drink. Gloria's reply? "You provoked her. By being in public? You know what you did. Gloria, I'm blocking you now. Tell Cassandra any more contact means a restraining order. The coffee shop incident is on record." Then, 2 days ago, her influencer career took its final hit. A YouTube drama channel did a full expose on her. Someone had been screenshotting everything. Her old posts. The dinner party story, leaked by one of her friends. Her TikToks. They even found my original Reddit post somehow. The video, titled "The Fake Influencer Who Lost It All," got 2.3 million views in 48 hours. Her Instagram went private, then vanished. Her TikTok, deleted. Her lifestyle blog, now a dead link. She texted me from a new number. "Hope you're satisfied." "You ruined my life," I replied. "You ruined your own life." I just stopped paying for it. Then I blocked her. Final update. It's been 4 months since that dinner party. This is my last update because there's nothing left to say. Cassandra's story has wrapped itself up. After the YouTube video went viral, she tried one last pivot. Launched a new Instagram as a mental health advocate, posting about surviving toxic relationships and healing from trauma. Shared inspirational quotes over photos of her mom's backyard sunsets. Got about 200 followers, mostly bots. But the internet doesn't let go. Someone dropped the YouTube expose link in her comments. Her new followers looked her up. The account was gone in 9 days. Per a mutual friend who still talks to Bianca, Cassandra got a job, a real one, data entry at a dental office, $18 an hour, 8 a.m. start time. The irony of her doing data entry while mocking my data analyst job isn't lost on me. She lasted 3 weeks before complaining about the toxic workplace. They told her to stop taking selfies at her desk. Now she's at a department store, working returns. The girl who posted about luxury hauls now handles other people's returns all day. Her mom, Gloria, messaged me on Facebook. I'd forgotten to block her there. One last plea. Said Cassandra was getting help. Maybe we could reconcile when she's better. I replied, Gloria, your daughter needs to learn that choices have consequences. I wish her the best, but I'm done with her. Please don't reach out. She wrote back, you'll regret this when she's successful. I didn't reply. Blocked. The funniest part? I ran into Richard, the coffee shop guy at a work event last week. He knows my company's legal team. We talked briefly. He mentioned a crazy woman who kept messaging him after one coffee date, talking about moving into luxury apartments together. Had to block her everywhere. His wife saw the texts and wasn't thrilled. Dodged a bullet, he said. You have no clue, I replied. As for me, life's calm. My apartment's small, but mine. I cook my own meals instead of shelling out for overpriced restaurants where she'd photograph food she didn't eat. I'm saving money. Took a vacation last month. Nothing extravagant, just camping and hiking with friends. Posted no photos. It was amazing. I've started seeing someone new, Heather. She's a teacher, drives a Toyota, and insisted on splitting our first dinner bill. When I offered to pay, she said, I have a job. I can cover my own pasta. I might be falling for her. The last I heard about Cassandra via the retail rumor mill was that she had to move into a smaller room at her mom's. Gloria turned her old bedroom into a craft room, fed up with her daughter's temporary stay dragging on. She's now in what used to be Gloria's home office, 8 by 10 feet, no windows, from a high-rise with city views to a windowless box in her mom's house. From influencer to return counter, from he can't afford my lifestyle to would you like to apply for our store card? The best revenge is letting someone face the reality of who they are without you holding them up. Cassandra wanted a lifestyle. She got what she could afford on her own. And me, the boring office guy, I'm doing great, better than great. Turns out I could afford my lifestyle all along, just not hers. Edit, since someone asked. Yes, I kept all the evidence from the coffee shop incident and her harassment. Never had to use it for a restraining order, but it's there if she tries anything again. To those saying I was too harsh, she threw a drink at me in public. That's assault. I could have pressed charges and didn't. I think I was more than reasonable.